Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned a lot. Learned a
And
lot.
those are two of the, you definitely touched on periodization. I would say the two things that I've learned big time that I have to consider a lot more, periodization and kind of just injury prevention, like prehab, and
Exactly.
making
Yes.
sure that I think that there are a lot of things that you can get away with. Actually, I always tell this, but when I used to spar, when I used to compete, I wouldn't even warm up. I would just put on my gear
Me
and
too. Yeah.
my warm up was
Me
literally my
too.
first round of sparring, and then I would just kind of find my way into it. And I can't do that kind of stuff anymore, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't let my fighters do that as much as they want to. So what have
Yeah,
you,
it's
how exactly do you like periodize? Like what are your main things that you do for periodization or injury prevention?
so for injury prevention, um, it what I like to do is I just have that dedicated time to, which is usually in the beginning of the session, to um, to roll out the tight muscles, to activate the weaker muscles, and then some form of motor control. So to tie those two together to make it functional. And then usually after that, then we'll do really quick static stretches, not too long, maybe like 20 seconds, just to get the blood flowing to the areas that we just loosened. And from there, we'll go into the dynamic stretches. Um, and then from there, we go into plyometrics. So it's really just like a 5 to 10 minute process that everyone takes before we hit the actual workout, just that is made for their body specifically. So when I first get someone, I'll usually assess like, okay, what is your glute med weak? Are your hip flexors tight? And then whatever I find that is tight or weak, then we hit that on the roller. We do our activation, integration, mobilization drills, and then we start with the dynamic movements. And even then, it's like when I did that on myself when I first started, I was like, wow, this makes a huge difference in
Mm-hmm.
performance, just because
Yeah,
everything is firing and working the way it's supposed to. So
yeah.
yeah, that's what kind of looks like for our warm-ups and injury prevention. In terms of periodization, what I'm realizing, it's really about um, how far you are from the fight, and then what strategies you're implementing throughout the camp, like 3 weeks out, or 10 weeks out, 8,
Mm-hmm.
6, 4, 3, and then implementing the right strategies. And one person that I learned a lot from for that is Cal Dietz,
Okay.
who kind of made triphasic training is his approach, and that's basically taking different tempo ranges and utilizing them depending on how far you are from the fight.
Okay.
And that has been really helpful in terms of seeing like how they perform, and then just watching it all come together. It's crazy once you take those things into consideration and put them into play, like the difference that it can make.